Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Salam alaikum. I apologize to those of you who have already heard me speak on the stage today. You've got another, I think, 3 or 4 hours of companies speaking to you, so knuckle down. It's going to be a long night. Nabta Health is a hybrid healthcare platform for women. Our mission is to empower the 500 million women in the MEASA, Middle East, Africa, South Asia region to effectively manage their health. Our ultimate aim is to integrate traditional care with virtual care components and make healthcare affordable and accessible for all women. There are 5 big questions that we're trying to solve, 5 key problem areas we're looking at. For now, we're focused predominantly on fertility for a couple of reasons. Fertility rates have been declining globally over the past 25 years, but nowhere more so than in the Middle East. This is due to the rise of chronic illnesses such as diabetes and obesity, which are responsible for between 60 and 70% of all female-related infertility issues. The problem as we see it is that at the moment there is no easy way for women to connect their wellness to their health, to their medical data. What this means is that there is no way for women to see how their sleep patterns may affect their stress levels, could be affecting their hormone levels, their cycle length, their tendency to develop something like insulin resistance, etc. So we want to allow women to make those connections by creating our model of hybrid healthcare. So what does a hybrid care pathway or a hybrid healthcare model look like? Well, we have got 5 virtual care components: mobile apps, smart medical devices, smart tests, virtual consultations, and machine learning, which we have combined into a single platform. The starting point for most of our users is the Nabta app. It's a 4-mode application that allows women to get fit and healthy, track their cycle with a particular focus on trying to conceive, monitor a pregnancy or prepare for menopause, 4 sequential functions, i.e. you'll never simultaneously be monitoring a pregnancy and also trying to conceive. These 4 modes are underpinned by 2 bits of machine learning. The first powers a personal health assistant, Aya, whose job is to direct women to insights, information, products and services that are applicable for them. The second is our health score, which is based on about 250 weighted variables that interact in a particular context to give women a health score that's applicable for their goals and what they're trying to achieve in a particular moment. So if I just want to lose weight, I will see a generic health score. If I'm trying to have a baby, then fertility parameters will be kind of applied over the top that will give me a health score in the context of my fertility. In terms of the hybrid components of the platform, we've got a number of different products and services that are implemented or in the pipeline. The first is our real-time fertility monitor. So again, I said we're focused on fertility. This detects ovulation with 99% accuracy. It detects anovulatory cycles and luteal phase progesterone deficiencies. It is a CE-certified, FDA-approved medical device, clinically proven in over 35,000 cycles of use. And it is the recommendation for women who have irregular cycles or some kind of metabolic disorder like PCOS. We are also about to launch a suite of smart tests. These are tests that we either do with one of our partners, Eurofins. It's one of the largest biotechnology testing companies in the world, and they're all home test kits. So if a woman has a suspected hormonal imbalance, she can order this test to her home. She takes the sample, sends it off to a lab, and receives the results digitally. We are working in-house at the minute on developing a point-of-care test device for progesterone that will allow women to monitor progesterone levels in real time. So smart tests, smart medical devices, virtual consultations, machine learning are the 5 key critical virtual care components. This briefly is an example of a user's journey through hybrid healthcare, how a woman could interact with different elements of the platform. And this is our market. The wellness economy is a multi-market opportunity. We're currently targeting 4 key segments within it, using different aspects of the platform, so workplace or corporate wellness, fitness and mind-body, preventive and personalized medicine probably is our biggest market segment, and healthy eating, nutrition, and weight loss as well. We make money from hybrid products and services, so from the sale of devices and tests that are integrated with the platform, through a 3-tier freemium subscription model, and also through affiliate marketing. So because we are the women's health platform in the region, with our quarterly awareness and other campaigns, we've reached almost 10 million women since we launched the platform in August 2018. We're seen as the ideal distributor, source, partner for other high-tech products that exist outside of the region. So obviously we have our own pipeline of products, but also things that we will never develop, but that should still be made available to women here. So we're working with a number of local partners in the US and UK to make their products available to our market. This is our projected revenue. And
Thank you, and that's time.
Great.
So any questions?
Okay, I have two. The first one is, are you HIPAA compliant? So do you follow the international standards of storing medical records?
Yeah.
Yes, we are. So the virtual consultation component of the platform is actually provided by a white label solution provider that we integrate. They are HIPAA compliant. For data verification purposes, looking ahead towards insurance claims, etc., we're building a blockchain element that is integrated with the platform that will also be HIPAA and GDPR compliant.
That's great. Okay, my other question is, how much of this is regulated by the Ministry of Health in the countries that you are operating in?
So most of it. It depends on the category of device or test that we're working with. For example, we have a local authorized representative in the UAE that is currently in the process of registering our real-time fertility monitor for us as a medical device. Depending on this other supplementary services, they will or will not be regulated according to the local legislation.
Okay, thank you for your presentation. I just want to, one of the things where I was looking for is, what about your competition? You know how many apps now available, already taking care about the woman thing. So I didn't saw something like you show what is you will be adding to these applications, the exist applications.
So I think the answer is everything. We are aware that we have competitors in the marketplace. I mean, there are various, for example, period tracking apps like Flow, Glow. There are pregnancy apps, but what they offer is data insights at a particular moment in time. They're not necessarily actionable insights, and even if they are, usually the user has to exploit a third party. So they would have to go and see their own doctor and have a set of tests done, and then those test results wouldn't be contextualized within the app itself. Whereas with our platform, our machine learning-based assistant can recommend a test that is right for you. You can order it there and then, have it delivered to your home. The results appear in the app, and then you can share those with your doctor again via the platform. So it's about addressing an entire care pathway with technology, not just about building an app that provides an insight at a moment in time.
Thank you. That's time.
Great. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Sarah, founder and CEO of the Experience Accelerator. I have about 20 years' experience in the field of management and leadership development, and for those who know me well, they know I'm pretty passionate about great leaders and managers. It's interesting, before we jump into the slides, I'd like to ask you a question. I'd like you to think about the worst manager you ever worked for and how that person made you feel. A few chuckles around the audience, I can see the thought bubbles. So it turns out that in addition to just making you feel bad, that manager will have had a dramatically negative impact on your discretionary effort and productivity. In fact, 70% of the variation between high and low engagement is down to the manager, which is probably why there's so much focus in this area in recent years. Now, I like to think we're doing something slightly different. So we're taking e-learning, which delivers well at scale, it's cheap, but it's not particularly effective at driving behavior change. One-on-one coaching, on the other hand, is good at driving behavior change, but it's expensive and it doesn't scale. So at the Experience Accelerator, we're trying to break the trade-off between the two and deliver the boat in a fully virtual platform. 3 main steps to our approach. Let's take them one by one. So it turns out, if you watch someone performing the behavior you're trying to master, you learn more quickly. So we share videos, insights, content to help learners develop their initial skills in the area. Then we get you to practice. You practice first using your webcam in response to short prompts from the platform. And then secondly, on a video call with one of our live tutors. This session's recorded, uploaded to the platform, and within 24 hours you get a customized, tailored feedback report telling you what you've done well and where you can improve. Now, we're currently working on something pretty exciting that we're calling our augmented coaches. Let me explain what that is. So step one is to create a video with a tutor that acts a little bit like a mirror to your behavior. I can't tell you how many people say, oh, I didn't realize I do that when they see each other on video. Second is to analyze, using machine learning, the conversation. So things like turn taking. Did you ask any questions? Were you empathetic? And so on. So this is an instantaneous analysis, complemented by our human coaches. So how do we make money? So we have examples of scenarios on the left-hand side here. The three-phase learning journey, which I've just described, that costs just $200 US, so per scenario, per learner. And we target 3 major customers: heads of learning and development, heads of HR from large corporations, program directors at training providers. So for example, we're working with the University of Arizona as part of one of their broader programs. And then thirdly, universities and governments. So our traction we're super excited. There was a number of things I could have put on this slide. I wanted to focus on the repeat purchases from some of our pilots. And so you see some pretty interesting names there. We're headquartered in Bahrain. We also have a subsidiary in Switzerland, which explains why we've got a combination of Gulf and European companies there. And we've got some ongoing pilots, both in the region and beyond. And we're also included in some of the world's best executive education providers' proposals, such as the innovative nature of our solution. So to the future, you see here, year by year, how we anticipate growing, healthy clip. I'm delighted to say that against our current 2019 sales goal, we're already 68K fully booked. So I anticipate, unless things go very awry, that we'll do quite well this year already and exceed that number. And you'll see that the markets that we intend to expand into, from a language perspective, we're English language. Our 3 additional languages will be Arabic, Spanish, and French, which covers most of EMEA, as you can imagine. So we're currently looking to raise $250,000 in equity seed money that we will, if successful, distribute in the categories that you see there. We are a graduate of Flat 6 Labs' first cohort here in Bahrain. I'm delighted to be present here for their second demo day, which is upcoming. So our team, Liz Riches, our coaching director, 25 years of experience in the field. Nihar and Salim, our tech team based out of Bangalore, India, as well as 20 plus coaches and tutors.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next time.
Thank you. So any questions?
Yes, please. Thank you for the insights. Thank you for your presentation. How can you differentiate yourself from competition?
So it's interesting. We're lucky enough at the moment not to have a like-for-like competitor. How I see it in the market, there are 2 groups of people that we compete against. Some that create very expensive, customized simulations using digital formats. So that would be the likes of BTS, Advantex, who develop simulations, very practical learning for them. For their companies. Or I would say organizations like LinkedIn Learning, who have quite a static format in terms of low interactivity, but wide scale and scope. So for us, I think it's the differentiator is that we're not just having people learn stuff, we're having them practice it in a very practical way.
Okay, coming to this point, you mentioned that whoever is doing this exercise has to make a video.
Correct.
For maybe females or people coming from this culture, maybe they might have a certain restriction or maybe they would mind.
Exactly.
How can you overcome this?
So I think 2 ways. So first of all, it's always a permission-based. So people have the right to opt in, and that we're very clear, particularly in this part of the world, around the video. The approach actually works quite well without video. So just using voice with no visual representation. The conversational analytics work in the same way. And the feedback, it's interesting. You probably need a minute or 2 worth of conversation in order to give meaningful feedback. So that works well without the video. You obviously lose some of the body language aspects, but it's certainly not a deal breaker.
Hi. Hi. Your number in the slides regarding your return customers and the demand seems pretty high for your services. How do you explain, for example, not having attracted enough investors, and what's been your biggest challenge so far? What's holding you off?
So I think two things. So first of all, we have humans in our process, and I don't apologize for that. But from a pure scalability problem, investors have raised concerns that the model isn't infinitely scalable because we have human coaches.
That's time.
Okay.
Hi, everybody. My name is Sahiqa Bennett, and I'm the co-founder of Searchie. Are you ready for the jobs of the future? According to the World Economic Forum report, The Future of Jobs 2018, we have some major challenges to look to. One is there's new skills. So how we've hired before is no longer good for the future. There are going to be so many new things that are more important, which are personality-based and competency-based, not the traditional skills. There are over 133 million jobs between now and 2022. That's huge. That actually means we need 101 days of learning between now and then to be up to speed. One of the main goals of Searchie really is to help businesses optimize their existing culture and values and needs and the staff, and to develop them and see who they should keep and develop and mobilize, and look at the way that they can recruit and attract talent. Searchie will allow you, through artificial intelligence, to very quickly match on culture, values and needs, and skills. We have an in-house psychologist who's doing a PhD from Cambridge University, who's studying AI and human behavior and psychology, who makes sure that the data is interpreted in a user-friendly way so you as an employer can see all the data and the recorded interviews and see who you want to meet face-to-face. It's all in-house tech, so we have an in-house team, nothing's outsourced, and we're making sure that deep machine learning bit is continually being evaluated. We also address gender and inclusiveness. These, again, are two big topics right now. Diversity is a big thing right now, but if you don't change anything, nothing's going to happen. So we really can help you address this. And how to include a more inclusive way. So as the world is moving forward, we can actually include people being freelance recruiters all over the world. So the fourth industrial revolution is allowing us to work and live in new ways. We have over 60 clients right now. These are some of them. We're super excited to be in Bahrain, so thank you for welcoming us here. We're a global business. And yes, we do have competition in parts of what we do. We have traditional assessments, we have great video platforms out there. We are trying to combine everything in one to do with HR, and recruitment is just one place where we would like to start with, because we want to help you source, screen, assess, and then decide who you want to meet in person. So our competition is more reactive, where we're actually seeking passive talent. We also offer a SaaS model. So again, this can be plug and play, and you can start using it from tomorrow in your companies. So let's prepare for the future together. It's a collaborative effort. I know there's a lot of companies out there are really looking to transform the way they hire. Searchie can partner with you and give you the solutions through AI, and humans and people are absolutely at the core of our solution. And here's our team. We like to have fun, and we'd love to build businesses who have happy people, because ultimately, if you have a happy person and you have a good culture, guess what? Your business is going to be the best in the world. Thank you.
Thank you for our presentation. From my experience, as I worked to enhance one internal personality assessment for one of the companies in Bahrain, and we compare it directly with Thomas test. I'm sure you should know about the Thomas personality assessment. So my question is, one of the main limitations with all these personality assessments is understanding the cultures. We have multicultural, and if you will consider it as you will consider your profile, the outcome profile from the 14th personality or whatever, still we will have a gap, because, for example, in the Arabic region and for the Muslim region, sometimes they suggest some of the jobs which is not really match the cultural and the religious things. So how you will keep sure that you are controlling the multicultural thing?
Yeah. No, good question. And the parameters are not set by us. We are not here to tell you who is the best candidate in our view. We actually ask the employers, right? And we look at behaviors. How should they behave in the environment? How should their emotions be? We work with you on this. So we're not framing it, and it's benchmarked on the ocean. You know, the ocean framework, right? Which is we all have these big 5 personality traits. What makes us unique is we have different variations. So we're matching back on the information from the employer on the culture, right? So when we're talking about culture, we're talking about how should they be acting and behaving in the organization. And we can only do this with a multiple choice question answers which are coming from the employer. And we have descriptions which give you an overview. If someone's not sure what does assertive mean, what do I mean by sociability and emotions, there's short descriptions as well.
So how do you make sure that your product is defensible? Because there are elements in your products that other people are doing, and the value proposition that you're adding is that it just gathers all the features in one platform. So how do you make sure it's defensible?
Yeah. So some of the competition that is out there right now, I've hired for years in big corporates. I've also built 3 startups, and each time when it comes to finding people, I've tried the solutions. I find them a little bit too off the shelf, like they're very generic. I have to pick the questions, and then the video interview is normally quite just tell me about yourself. Then I have to use another service to get assessments, which cost me $300 to $500 depending on the level of hire. Then I have to maybe use recruitment agencies for something else. So I feel like I have to go to so many different places. Now, if a solution out there existed, I probably wouldn't even be standing in front of you today because I probably would have used them myself. So I think the beauty and the secret of this is let's look at solving a very real problem, which is let's just get the pile of CVs more digitized and into the best match candidates. Because we all know as candidates as well, maybe our CV hasn't even been shown. We need to get away from matching a piece of paper with a matching piece of paper. And what's out there at the moment, like I say, there's companies that are doing pieces of it, but not in one place. And we can do so much more. Like we can do appraisals, we can do L&D, we can partner with other firms. So.
Okay, thank you. I just time for one more question. Yeah. I'm just wondering if you could talk a little bit more about the team. Obviously, if you're talking about scaling, you're going to have to scale that team, and you're talking about a very human-dependent business at the moment. How will that scale?
Sure. So we're a year old today, so I'm really happy to be here. It's quite a nice day, and we have 10 people right now. All the tech is in-house. We've just closed a round of funding as well, and so that's going to really enable us to scale quite fast. So we already have the list of hires that we'd like. We've got people approaching us as well who want to join us. So my background is recruitment, so I really hope that through our platform, I'm using it for all of our hires. Right? So I'm not even having to interview them because I just send out the links, they do the interviews, and then I assess who's the best and invite them in. 2 people, done. I'll make an offer to 1. And I'll tell you in a year's time if that was a good decision or not, because the next thing is we need to measure the success, so I'll be able to let you know about that.
Hello. Hello, everybody. Does this work? Hello. Hi, this is my first pitch for Daresni, actually. And so I'm here to tell you about the company and how we're doing and how we're actually affecting Bahrain. So number 1, we have the first problem. And the first problem is the parents who find it very difficult to find a teacher or a tutor for their kids. And we're talking about home tuitions here, not online learning. And so they're also finding it very difficult to find teachers for themselves. So whether they're looking for a personal trainer, a martial arts instructor, a musician, a piano lesson, and so on, it's very difficult in Bahrain at the moment to find these sorts of teachers. The other problem that we're having right now is that there are also teachers and coaches in Bahrain that are not utilizing their capabilities. So there are certified teachers and coaches out there that are sitting at home and don't find jobs. So of course, we want to find a solution for these two problems. And the solution here is Daresni, which is the marketplace for teachers and coaches to advertise their services in Bahrain and basically be able to use their services more often. Now, there's a couple of key figures at the moment. And number one is the size of the private tuition market, which is 227 billion. And hopefully, Daresni will be able to get a piece of that pie. There's also an increase in education expenditure worldwide. And طبعاً, there's a shortage of teaching staff in schools and colleges. Now, how it works, the system that we've built actually has a free registration for users and coaches. We have a simple search feature. So basically, if you're looking for a particular teacher or coach in Bahrain, you'll be able to simplify that very quickly with our simple search features. We have access to calendars. So not only will you be able to find out, a teacher or a coach that's right for you, but you'll also be able to find out when they are available in Bahrain. There's also secure, there's also secure payments, and basically so you can find, book, and pay for your session in advance. طبعاً here is an extract of our website. So you can see our website and the search features here. You can use the select subject as a mandatory field, and if you want to filter it even further and request, say, a female or a male teacher, you can do that. We have, at the moment, we've only been operational by the end of October. So the last day of October was the first day we actually made the website live. And we actually got two bookings on that day. So actually, where are we going? Here we go. So we got 2 bookings on that day. We also have 70 clients so far, and they're regularly booking sessions with tutors for their kids or for themselves. Here's an extract. We also have a screenshot of our Google Play and our iOS. This is sort of what they look like. You have a list of all the teachers that are available on the platform, and then you can use our search criteria to filter that even further, and then you can also book now straight away. Now the perks of Daresni. Number 1, it's the simple search feature you can see here, again, which has the select subject field, and then the rest are non-mandatory, but you can use that to filter further. And then you also have their calendars of their availability to see exactly when you can book them. And then you have an integrated and secure payment. Here's a graph of our early traction. As you can see, the slope is going up, and that's always a good sign. And also, if you've noticed, the last month is actually March, and that's this month, and we haven't even started yet. So we actually have half of the bookings that we had for February in March as of today. Now, you'd want to ask yourself what happened in the last few months to actually get that graph to go up. Now, you can see in November, December, we relaunched the website. In February, we had Google Play. We launched it on Google Play. And then obviously on this month, which is March, right at the end, you can see we are launching our iOS, and we're launching the entire platform in Arabic. Now, these are our milestones, as we've covered for the past couple of months. We started off in October, and we attracted 50 tutors, which is what we wanted to do. As of now, as you can see, we're more than 90 tutors, so we're doing much better than we thought we would do. Then, طبعاً, in November, we've launched the websites. In February, we've launched the Android. March, we are working on the Arabic development. It's actually in testing, so it's nearly ready. It should be ready about next week, and we're also launching the iOS app. Then, okay, so the next couple of months are going to be heavy marketing for us. It's gone. Heavy marketing for us. So we're going to reach hopefully 1,000 bookings in October. In January, we're launching in Saudi Arabia, and we're having a further GCC expansion within a year. These are the competitors. This is the team.
Thank you.
We don't have very many people, and we're done. So we do all these things here, and that's it for me. Any questions? Does anyone have any questions?
Yes. Hi. Here.
Ah.
Hello. So we skipped the slide about your competition, so maybe if we can just quickly go through it.
I can go back a little bit.
I'm guessing your main competitor here is still the likes of Facebook and social media, because such services, we look for them there and we see who our closest circle are recommending, etc. How are you looking into overcoming this? Plus, I have another question. How do you control the quality of the tutors and the service providers? Because one mistake or one bad tutor can like word of mouth can go quickly, yes, and you could lose a lot. Yes.
Okay, the first question was a very good question, actually, because there are directories, right? There are directories of people offering their services on Moms in Bahrain, expatriates.com, but the problem is sifting through that data is not the best. They don't keep their data up to date. You would have to actually call every single tutor on there that you find to ask about to see if they can fulfill your requirements. Correct? So the reason why I started this website actually is because I'm a mother myself. And I was looking for a French tutor for my daughter, and it took me 4 to 5 days to sift through all those data in Facebook and Instagram, on Moms in Bahrain and expatriates.com. All of those, I had a whole database of teachers, and out of which only 2 of them, after 4.5, 5 days, were willing to come to the house to do a personal, one-to-one tuition for my daughter who's 7. So that was one of the reasons why I started, and I realized that out there, the information is all outdated. We need to get something that's more up to date, and that we can access schedules and make bookings directly. Now, the second question was actually also a very good question, and it was about validating the data on each tutor. So if I could go back just a little bit, I'm not sure if I will be able to in the time that I have, but we have something called the certified stamp. So anybody can actually come and be a tutor on Daresni if they have the credentials, obviously a certification, either a teaching certificate, a bachelor's degree, a master's degree, but they have to have some sort of certification to be able to join the site. And we do background checks on people. We see their CVs, we have access to their passport copy, their CPR copy, and any certifications. So if we get all of these issues, all of these things, actually, this wasn't here, but you should be able to see a certified stamp on the ones that were certified by us. So we make sure that we have all the data, and if we don't, you'll be able to see it right from the get-go and not book that person if you're uncomfortable with them.
Yeah. Okay, did you involve the Ministry of Education in this? Because as you know, like especially in Bahrain, we are suffering from the fake certifications. So how you control this? And it is necessary like to have the Ministry of Education to at least audit who will be involved. This is the future of our learning. So how you...
Absolutely. Okay, that number one, the Ministry of Education actually are not policing this industry yet, right? But that given, my full-time job is actually working for a semi-government government institution. So before I even started this project, I went and did my research. I went and I sat with the educational specialists, figured out what is legal and what is not, and we made sure that we followed the rules that was set up for the license that I was getting. So there's 2 rules, actually, main ones that we have to follow by doing this. Number 1 is that we can't have the teacher host any students in their home. That's a complete no-no in terms of the Ministry of Education. Then number 2 is that the teachers, no matter what course they give the student, are not entitled to give any kind of certification to that student. So as long as we follow these 2 rules, we should be in line with all the ministries.
So there was much to deliberate after the 4 fantastic presentations that we've just had. We're very interested in fighting out about who comes second and third, but what you guys are interested in, of course, is who comes first. So we'd like to invite Experience Accelerator back onto the stage as the winner of the Female Founders Challenge. Thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Congratulations.